So in this video is a first class game in the Hollenhund, which is a tier 8 German light tank. This is currently on the Halloween Monster Hunter earn up. I think it's a really good tank. This was the first Halloween tank I got, just because of the crew XP boost on this is 50%. So I thought probably be more useful for when I was starting to train the crews up. And I still think that's the case if you're fairly new to the game and you don't have this. Probably do consider it just as a sort of a crew trainer. It is a good tank. Can hold itself against tier 10s. So yeah, it doesn't really matter what sort of game you get into. You can get the damage in. The AP shells are good enough to go against sort of tier 8s. The heat shells, as you can see, I've got a 20-20 split. The heat shells are for sort of tier 9, tier 10s. And we've got 6 HEP shells. They're really nice. They've got about 100, I think it's 102 mil of penetration. Really good against light tanks, artillery, those type of soft targets. But we're on steps. We've got the assault map just pushed up along this flank. Where we spawn, I thought I would try and get up here as fast as I could to essentially do this, spot these tanks up here, make sure they don't advance too far down our flank. Our team's doing a quite good job pushing up as well. This is one advancing forward. I probably wouldn't do that, but we've got this YOLO and light tank. And I've noticed it's just auto-locking, so I'm just circling around and yeah, it's shooting behind me. Should really switch to the HEP, looking back at this replay, but that tank gets shut down anyway. And this single one appears to be shooting HE, which is an interesting choice. When I usually play this game, I always try and think about how the enemy team are actually playing, and I think this is a good example where there's no real case for that Emil 1 to be loading HE. So I'm thinking already maybe not the best of players around here, and yeah, just can't seem to aim. So yeah, just circling around here. Just going around this rock. Something's targeting me. I'm not too sure if it's artillery or there's a TD back there that's got a shot on me. But something's spotting me here. I think it is that Emil 1. Just going back around the rock again. Nothing was able to shoot me going that route, so went that route again. And yeah, just see if I can get a shot down on this tank. I can't. But the enemy tanks in the sort of A7, they're not really advancing. So as long as I can stay in this area, if they do try and make that cross, I can at least try and get at least one shot into them. Get a nice shot in there, just auto aims. But I'm just going down here. I really don't want to take a hit at this stage. Lost quite a lot of health to that YOLO in light tank. Don't really want to lose any more, to be honest. So at this point, I've noticed that the other 2 tanks are essentially following that Emil 1 in. And they've got themselves into a bit of a bowl there. They can't really get out of there. So at this point, I'm just thinking, I think my friendly team should be able to deal with them. I don't think what they've done is a particularly sensible tactic that they've done. They've just kind of followed the Emil 1 in down there. So I've decided I'm going to leave the heavies to it. I know they're outnumbered, but I think they can hold themselves against those tanks. And I'm just coming into the middle to try and see if I can spot anything. This is a light tank, so I do want to get into the middle of the map. But it's a bit of a strange light tank. It's not quite the style that I like, although I do like this tank. It's quite big, relatively big for a light tank. And sort of the mobility of it and the good gun that you've got on this, you tend to try and play it like a medium. That's how I play it. I used to try and play this like a light tank. It doesn't really work. I do try and think of, it's a fast paper armour medium tank. If you go with the mentality of that, I think it does make a bit more sense. So yeah, that's how I play it. So just come back onto this flank. Sure enough, my allies have been able to fend the enemy off, so I've decided to come this way to try and help finish this flank. This, I don't know, just it was obviously aiming in for my allies. But we have kind of lost this flank now. It's just me versus this M48. Make a bit of a misplay here, just bounce, just also aiming if I can, out reload it, and I get the kill. So we've now won this flank. And I know that there was things camping around that train track, but it's 9-3. Pretty sure that TD's back there, and it is. Just trying to look over the ridge with third-person camera view, hoping I don't get spied, but unfortunately I do. I think it just reverses back over, so its vision pool can see over the train tracks, but it's ignored me. So it's going after the wheeled light. Not really a light I can do at the moment. So yeah, just putting shots into the back of it, making sure I actually shoot into it. Don't want any strange ricochets, but that's the Hollenhounds. I do think it's worth picking up. As I said, it was the first Halloween tank I got, and I think I made a quite good choice, really, to be honest. It's got that crew XP boost, that 45,000 XP is, I've got a ×6 booster on, as well as it being double Commander XP during the Halloween couple of weeks. But yeah, it's really good for sort of training German crews, and also with the skill swap you can, train any crews up with it, really. So yeah, what I run: optics, Coronet, vertical stabilizer. It's got 240 alpha, 182 on the standard, 250 on the premium. Yeah, really good tank. Definitely worth picking up. I think it on the tier it is at the level. I think it's the best one there. So if you just get to that level, I think definitely get the Hollenhund if you don't have it already.